to the We Are Change talk show. I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas and a happy start to the new year. We kick off our first episode in 2019 with a look at the James Gargasoulas trial, the driver of the Bourke St Car Rampage. We Are Change was present at 2 out of 3 days of the latest hearing. The jury's still out as to whether or not James was in court on day 1. Let's cross to that footage now.
So we're in court at the first day of the hearing. No sign of James Gargasoulas. No entering or leaving the court. We heard the victim impact statements. If anyone's been victimised, it's you here, PK. Gang stalking and police harassment.
Jeff, we were up there, and everyone was laughing and joking, you know, talking, didn't walk out the court, all the supposed family victims. Surely, when the court was closed, when the judge walked out, they would have led Jimmy out, not to be seen. Slowly but slowly, everyone walked out of the room. You stayed there. I walked out just before you to see what was going downstairs. I bumped into the woman who's supposedly the solicitor representing the 5 families, and I asked, "What's this guy filming?" Anyway.
And you approached the woman and you asked for proof of life of James Gargasoulas, and
Yeah.
zero. You had no response and she got nervous. Was that correct?
Well, we better stop now.
So all the media is down here at the Supreme Court.
Very well. We'll continue on. Get away from this scum fucking area.
So the curious case of James Gargasoulas. He was a no-show today in court.
We'll just continue, but we moved away from there because it was getting a bit fucking creepy, to be honest. I had the cameras pointed at me. I don't know what TV crew they were, but they were straight at me. And there was cops fucking hanging around everywhere. But as I was saying, Jeff, yeah. I don't know what I was saying, hang on.
The victim impact statements, we heard those.
Yeah,
they were described in great detail.
Which was just boring and boring. It was all scripted. Every single one of these supposed parents of supposed victims all had the same words, all the same bullshit. But I don't want to get into that. When the court started, right, we never saw Jimmy come in. I got there late, but they pretended someone was in the back underneath us. We're on the up top, and we heard a soft voice saying yes. Didn't they ask, is your name Jimmy Gargasoulas? Yes, or something to that effect. You only heard him say 2 words. Could have been anyone. But at the end, as I was saying, we never saw him being let out, which is what the normal thing is, before everyone actually leaves the court. The judge went out, the court was closed, everyone just got together, shaking hands, doing their thing, having a giggle, because it's all scripted. We're waiting for we want to see Jimmy. There's no Jimmy. This went on for a few minutes. People are slowly walking out, but really slowly. Then we saw one of the guards, I don't know what they got on their back.
Protective services.
Yeah, come from underneath, and he went up to one of the fucking prosecution barristers, whatever, and they handed him something. Then he walked back, and he walked back underneath it. We couldn't see. The thing is about it, all the people were still hanging around, the family victims are supposedly, as the thing is, going on, they had all the tissues there ready for them, and they're all doing this.
Yep.
But the guy got up and all this shit, but no one actually, looked at Jimmy or walked past Jimmy or knew Jimmy was there. We couldn't hear anyone talking, and where's Jimmy, we were thinking. And we waited, how many minutes? 5, 10? Then I went down, and Jeff stayed up, And I just had a quick look on the ground floor. I couldn't really see, and I'm getting all these people looking at me, so I just walked out. And lo and behold, the woman representing supposedly 5 victims, some Greek named Gina, someone, I can't remember. I went up to this, excuse me, was Jimmy Gargasoulas in court? Oh yeah. You know, thinking she didn't realise I was probably in the public gallery. I said, oh yeah, how come I didn't see him leave? Oh, what yeah, he was there. He left, real nervous like. I said, but I was upstairs in the public gallery, and the court closed, and everyone was just hanging around, and there was no Jimmy being let out, which is normal. Then she just turned her back on me and walked away. I said, excuse me, why are you walking away from me? And she wouldn't acknowledge me. So I followed her, and just at the same time she was with the supposed barrister and his second-hand man, right-hand man, whatever. You know, Jimmy's guy, you know, that does nothing, is supposed to getting paid squillions, doesn't even say a word. And I followed him for a few yards, and she still wouldn't, you know, answer me. You know, why are you walking away from me? And all I heard her say to the guy, the barrister, do you know who this guy is? Who's this guy? You know, like, but they wouldn't look at me. They just kept walking away.
Yeah, and even after the court hearing, the whole mood, everyone was very jovial. They were completely disconnected. If there was the accused sitting in the dock, they certainly didn't indicate that. They were laughing and joking.
But, Jeff, as you said, I don't know how these impact things go. For every murder case, is there an impact statement? But, like you said, they normally stand in the witness box and look straight at the accused, either reading the thing out
That's
and
right.
looking at. But in this case,
They were detached.
it was completely different.
No eye contact.
They were facing the judge with Jimmy supposedly behind, no contact whatsoever. And the judge, yeah, we can go on about all the bullshit stuff.
No one motioned to James Gargasoulas. There was no eye contact.
There was no abuse at him. There was, you know,
There was no indication that he was there whatsoever. Apart from, we heard an answer, where were you last remanded in custody?
Yeah, that was the other thing. And all the victims, whatever, family members were on the side, not one of them did they ever look across at Jimmy. Because I kept looking at the face. Not one of them ever looked at the back of Jimmy, who was supposedly there, but we know now wasn't there. Busted.
It's a mystery. And this is not the first time that he's been absent from court. So it adds to the mystery.
We'll end it right there for today, but rest assured, We Are Change will be back with the final verdict. The judge is making deliberations now, and we can expect that in a few weeks' time. Until then, take care, folks. Are you tired of hearing lies and fake news on mainstream media? Do you find it insulting to your intelligence? Well, look no further. The We Are Change talk show is here. President Trump has launched airstrikes on Syria. A lot of his prominent conservative supporters have turned against him after this action. Have you suffered human rights violations or been a victim of corruption? The We Are Change talk show would like to hear about it. Phone the number on your screen today.
Who the hell's going to listen to a little guy? You guys are, thanks.
Yes, it's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And what I hope is they don't put a mother and a child in the house, because that child will die. And no one seems to believe me.
Once again, much love to everybody at We Are Change, and I look forward to seeing you guys at more events in the future and working more closely with you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for the call, my friend, and all the best of luck moving into the future.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. You know, the legendary Jeff.
Without the instrument of We Are Change, we will not have a future. We will not have a country or a world to leave to our children. We won't have children able to function in it. So be a part of it. Join it.
We Are Change Melbourne gives those who mainstream media have ignored a voice, exposing corruption, injustice, human rights issues, and much more. We Are Change Melbourne is the voice of the people.
yeah, this is Jeff. Met Jeff for the first time I'd met Jeff. He too is a lovely chap, and he has a YouTube channel called We Are Change Melbourne. So if any of these topics pique your interest, pop over to We Are Change Melbourne and say good day to Jeff. You've seen that video that's just going past the interview, Enough is Enough. Watch that one.
Phone the number on your screen and be connected with the We Are Change talk show.